Good morning. With this presentation, we're going to be going through Facebook business strategy in Africa, some market opportunities and opportunities for growth within the segment. Start with an overview of the business. Facebook is an American social media company that was founded in 2004 by Mark Zuckerberg, Edward Snaveren, Andrew McCollum, Dustin Moskovich, and Chris Hughes. Facebook connects about 2.84 billion people worldwide, and 100 million of those people are currently in Africa. Their platform consists of various social media and messaging sites such as Facebook, Messenger, WhatsApp, and Instagram. The primary source of their revenue comes through the selling of advertisements. And 2020's revenue worldwide was just shy of $86 billion. About $7.5 billion of that was in Africa's region. Some of their biggest competitors include Apple, Google and YouTube, Amazon, and Twitter. The map shown on this slide shows the biggest social media company or most used social media company in various countries around the world. And as you can see, Facebook's market share, particularly in Africa, captures most of that market. They're dominating their competition in Africa. To review some of the market segments and what the target customers and needs are, the biggest target segment would be Africa's rising middle class. Currently, that sits at about 56 million households, and of those households, they have about $680 billion in disposable income. Of that middle class group, millennials account for about 76% of the people that are currently connected to the internet. And another fact about the middle class is that they're 1.2 times more likely to learn about goods and services via a mobile app. In Africa, they value their local products more than international brands. 59% of people polled would rather see products for local goods and services versus products that are nationally or internationally made. So the segment there would be to attract millennials who have more access and more desire to purchase online and are part of that growing middle class segment. Further into the market segments, in Africa recently, there's been a rapid spread of mobile phones. Within 5 years, 250 million Africans will have mobile phones as well as disposable income. Those middle-class Africans with that disposable income, this further mobile penetration could spur online shopping, hence advertising and more revenue for Facebook. The barrier there is that smartphone data is purchased on a monthly or weekly plans, and it can be cost prohibitive to people without the disposable income. At this point, I'd like to pass it off to Terrance, who's going to review the value proposition.
Okay, so Facebook is the most popular social media site in the world with over 2 billion users globally. So Africa possesses tremendous opportunity for Facebook to grow its brand in the region. Unlike other social media sites like Twitter that restrict your content because you can only post so much characters, and Twitter or TikTok, which mainly requires users to upload videos, Facebook offers both. You could use videos, you could post pictures, and then you could connect with several other users. Facebook users have the opportunity to have several different unique features. And one of the ways Facebook generates its revenue is by Facebook Marketplace. You could join unique groups of interest. You could view events, and then you could communicate with others via Facebook Messenger. With an estimated 700 million phone users from Africa. Give me one second. With an estimated 700 million phone users from all levels of society, Africa provides tremendous opportunity for Facebook to engage more subscribers. Facebook is free to join, either by a mobile phone or by a desktop computer. That makes it accessible to all segments of the site in Africa. The marketing strategy for Facebook in Africa would be via SMS sent directly to mobile phone subscribers, or will target less tech savvy emerging market segment via billboards, radio, and TV posters, strategically placing ads in shopping malls, supermarkets, movie theaters. Will use unique ads that are customized for the African market. Most Africans rather their ads in English, but there are some areas in Africa where we will market those segments in their native language. We'll engage local and international African celebrities, bloggers, tribal and community leaders, African Instagram stars to carry out that ad campaign. Competitive analysis will hire local partners to conduct market research to find out why some mobile subscribers are not using Facebook. Explain the benefits of joining Facebook compared to other social media sites like TikTok, Twitter, or Instagram. Because Facebook is free to join, pricing would not be an issue. It will be a way to encourage mobile subscribers to join Facebook. Using the SWOT analysis, I identify the strengths for Facebook, which is it's free to join, and the Facebook website is also user friendly. So that makes it easier for users that are less tech savvy to become Facebook members. One of the weakness, it requires internet connection. So for those who are not connected to the internet, they would be unable to join Facebook. An opportunity for Facebook in the African market would be to develop a service similar to Ushahidi and offer it free or at a lower cost. Ushahidi is a platform that you could use to report prices or report negligence with election, and then whatever information you report, it gives you the geographical location, it's time that you report it, and the date. And a threat to Facebook would be TikTok. TikTok is one of the fastest growing social media sites right now, and it gives the users the potential of earning substantial income just by posting content. So TikTok would pose the biggest threat to Facebook in Africa.
The revenue model and stream of Facebook. In 2020, the revenue was over 86 billion, which had 98% from advertising and 2% from sale of devices. So Facebook makes most of its money from the ads it makes on the app. So that's in terms of organizations or product placements. Certain products could tell Facebook, we want this person. So every person has a different ads on the timeline, which is streamlined to their needs and their wants. And then the remaining 2% is sale of devices. Like Facebook has something called the Oculus, which is like a virtual reality gaming system, and Facebook sells that. So that's where the 2% of their sales come from, and also developers' payment fees. The revenue is broken down into the US and Canada, Europe, Asia Pacific, and the rest of the world, which Africa falls under. Facebook's revenue type is a targeted advertising model, which is in line with an attention-based business model. So like I said, each person's Facebook timeline is tailored to what Facebook thinks that attention is going to be placed in. So for example, if you're always online looking at things like houses and clothes and shoes, more than likely your timeline is going to have ads in those specific areas. Facebook incorporation consists of Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, and Oculus. 3 of those 4 are other social media applications. And then the last one is the virtual reality gaming system. And they also offer services that are mostly dictated and needed by consumers. The revenue framework of Facebook consists of provision of free data, which in turn powers algorithm, and sales of user data from the 4 products and services offered. So the other apps that Facebook has, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger, do the same thing. I think the only app under Facebook incorporation that doesn't do ads is WhatsApp, but Instagram and Messenger have ads incorporated into them. Facebook being a platform with different services is a forerunner in the industry. its reach in Africa can be attributed to the free mobile service offered. So when you sign up for Facebook, it's free. The only thing you have to worry about paying for on the Facebook is the internet service you used to get on that app. As it is predicted, Africa in the next couple of years will be the hub of migration, and the revenue, especially with marketplaces, is projected to grow rapidly. So as of right now, Facebook has only 2 offices in Africa, which is in South Africa and in Nigeria. I foresee in the future Facebook opening more offices in Africa, seeing as by 2050 it's estimated that most people will migrate to Africa and most businesses will have at least 1 office in the region just to boost their revenue, boost growth, and ensure the citizens are well versed in what they have to offer. So this is the breakdown by user geographic of Facebook. So as we can see, this goes from third quarter of 2017 to third quarter of 2019. And altogether in the third quarter of 2017, we saw that they made 10,328. And more than half of that came from US and Canada. So something about Facebook is they don't have a specific breakdown of how much revenue they make from Africa. So Africa is grouped with the rest of the world. So there's no way to see how much revenue specifically is coming from Africa. But I know Facebook has over 200 million users just in South Africa alone. And that's their biggest forerunner in Africa, followed closely by Nigeria, then Kenya after that. But Facebook is making a lot of money in revenue. And just like we said, in 2020, they made over 86 billion in the whole world. And just in Africa, they made 7.6 billion in net revenue. So even if Africa is grouped with the rest of the world, just that breakdown window shows us that Facebook has a stance in Africa and it's making headways. So moving on to the cost structure, the bulk of the cost structure of Facebook is split between product development and marketing, which enables them keep their spot as a top contender and expand the market. So from personal experience, something I saw with Facebook is most phone providers in Africa, the way in which they market Facebook is when you buy a phone with a specific phone provider, Facebook is one of the few apps that's already preloaded onto the phone. So you don't have to buy a phone, set it up, and then go into the app store to download Facebook. It's already preloaded on the phone. So that's an easy way for phone providers to sell their phones and telling you something like Facebook, which is used by everyone to connect with friends and family, is already preloaded and ready for you to go. All you need to do is connect to an internet service and you have what's needed at your fingertips. Another thing that can give cost structure to Facebook is the property expense, server facilities, salaries, and insurance, which are amongst the fixed and variable costs that can be incurred. So as of right now, they have 2 offices in Africa, and those 2 offices generate the money they generate for the property, the server facilities, salaries, and insurance. So a big thing I noticed during this research was Facebook doesn't pay tax in South Africa. So that saves them a lot of money and ensures the revenue they make from that region is not put back into the country. I know Nigeria, they pay taxes, and that's one of the reasons Facebook is still holding back on expanding in Africa, because they're looking for countries that either they don't have to pay taxes on or the taxes is going to be less. So since Facebook is an app used worldwide, it requires numerous regional offices and locations. And then Facebook offers services like Marketplace, Facebook Shops, and very recently they opened up the Facebook Dating, so Facebook is a multinational app where it has everything that you need. You can use it to connect to friends and family. You can use it as a shopping center, and you can use it as a dating app all in one. And some of the advantages are this is some of the advantages Facebook has over other competitors, because in Nigeria, there's something called Jumai, and Jumai, all they do is it's a marketplace. Just you go there for shopping and whatnot, but Facebook encompasses everything. So the reason why Facebook will always be a top contender, especially in Africa, is because instead of you going over 3 to 5 other websites and apps to get something you need, everything can be gotten on Facebook. The business strategies are same with other mode of operations are product market investments with Facebook Markets and Facebook Shop. Project placements as same with ads ensure the relationship with the business strategy is maintained. Facebook also offers customer value proposition business with offering of free connections with friends and family all around the world, with some phone makers and providers advertising deals in conjunction with Facebook, like new phones already pre-programmed with the app. And if Facebook keeps up with the expansion, product development, amongst other things, it is realistically foreseen as an app which would be here for long term. In the last year, its revenue growth was 20% and its projection has been on the rise regularly.
So the strategic roadmap that we've set forth here into Africa with Facebook, bottom line is we're trying to connect more Africans to each other, but also the rest of the world. Facebook has done a great job and we're trying to increase that. So our goal is to basically empower Africans to see the possibilities that Facebook can provide with each other. And it's like, as my colleague said, not just for a connectivity of personal use, but for business, for spiritual, for lots of goals that they might have in their lives. The first horizon here that we've set forth is to continue to invest from the ground up. It's very clear that in Africa, local investment and money and ties and goals need to be with the African people. You cannot come in as an outsider and expect to have the success that you may in different countries. Africa is very locally based, and we have seen that goal, and we are going to continue that in our platform, in our basis here. So the other goal here is to invest heavily on mobile. We've seen that mobile users are much higher rate than on computers and other such platforms that Facebook is using. So the way to do that is using NGOs, the non-government agencies that, you know, to connect to the people. You cannot force things on them. You need to work with them. So in our research, that's what we have found, and that's the strategy that we are going to put forth, using the local media and policymakers to gain the trust of the people. The other piece is that the middle class and the younger Africans are our goal. Those are our targets to go find and to be successful in our platform here. Again, focusing on those younger Africans and the younger middle class that are having increased income over the past few years. We are going to continue to support those and focus on our infrastructure builds and make that the focus of our strategy moving forward. With Africa, obviously having several million users already on Facebook, we feel that there is still a huge growth opportunity in Africa with, you know, millions and millions of people using Facebook, and the opportunity of millions of people. Sorry to keep saying millions, but that's what Africa is. The opportunity and the focus of improving simple things and connecting people to each other, but also providing an opportunity for them to grow, whether that be, like I said, with their finances, with their spiritual growth, etc. So looking to develop some new products and attract the new users. Bottom line is we're looking for that regional growth, and Africa provides that for us. So as my colleagues have said, that we have 2 offices already in South Africa and Nigeria, and our idea is to put a 3rd office into Egypt in the next few years. And what that would do is cover us in the entire region. The continent, obviously, in South Africa was the original office, and then in Nigeria has been the growth up into the north. But having Egypt, where Facebook is very popular, but being the conduit to spreading and continued growth there. So that that's the next step for us, is having that third office, being able to gain, being able to recruit not only new users, et cetera, but having employees for us that can go and develop and put forth our new plan. So the other piece to that is the strategic partnership within the AU. We believe that the African Union can provide that synergy that we're looking for to get us into the rural region. This will be led by the Nigerian office, that we can basically minimize the cost and keep things very competitive, but also find those regions that we're just not quite touching yet. And there's opportunity to provide phones. You know, we know that the mobile users are our ticket to growth, and if we can provide some phones and get them connected, the sky is the limit on what we can accomplish there. So we know that also it's, you know, the free services is very key. Since Facebook does not cost anybody anything, it's a way to get everybody on board and, you know, for lack of a better term, get them hooked on the services that we can provide. So the other piece here is, you know, looking at some phone refurbishing from the United States. We all have here in the United States lots of phones that go, you know, dormant. We use them and then we're done with them. Finding a way to get those into Africa and potentially the rural regions can be a very, you know, opportunistic opportunity for us. So in regards to connectivity, the amazing piece, and you can go to the next slide, is that getting Africans to buy into our idea is already started. We're just trying to progress it and move it forward. And I think the foundation has been, you know, already laid, and now it's up to us to find a way. So I think the key here is that the four of us, our call to action here is, we're going to go to Africa. We're going to be on the ground and earn the trust of the people. And, you know, the bottom line is we want to create a opportunity and get Africa better connected. And I think Facebook can be the conduit for that. Within our partnership with the African Union, we're going to increase both our reach and message to all African regions, and teach also about what Africa can be to the rest of the world. It's not just about Africa, it's what they can bring to the rest of the entire universe. And let's bring the important and special people of Africa to the forefront. And Facebook is definitely a big key to that. And it's not just a social, but as I've said, it's a personal, it's a spiritual, it's a financial. And I think that, you know, as it says here, Group 18 from ASU's TGM 353 fall quarter, we're going to be the ones to start that. And when we get to Africa, we're excited to take this to the next step. So thank you, and feel free to click on that map there and join our journey.